NBA, you can gain that ability. You know, another player I love, Austin Rivers, out of Duke. All right, about 6'2", 6'3", epic shooter, very, very good shooter. He needs to learn. He needs to bulk up though. All right, because when defenders were on him in the NCAA tournament, he didn't handle it too well.
Well, they say he might go to New Orleans.
I've heard that too.
Sorry to hear that.
There's opportunity there.
I have opportunity in New Orleans.
Hey man, let's hop off New Orleans. Like, they've been through enough. All right, was it the 6th, 7th? What year is the anniversary of Katrina?
Oh man, why you gotta go there? Why you gotta go there and change the whole dynamic?
I'm sorry, I was watching the Boondocks last night. They had the Katrina episode.
Oh, okay. The Hornets just got, for those who don't know, they just got bought by the Saints owner. And a lot of people had a lot of controversy about them getting the #1 pick with Anthony Davis. They feel like it was a sham.
Hey man, the NBA draft lottery, let's be real. It's rigged.
And if you didn't hear the interview, look up David Stern versus my man, what's his name, the sportscaster that they got into it, and he asked him did he still beat his wife.
Oh, Jim Rome.
Jim
Rome.
Is there going to be a bounty put on anybody now in the NBA?
I mean, like I can't sit here and say the lottery isn't fixed because you had a year where Chicago didn't even belong in that #1 overall pick, and they got Derrick Rose.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's still complaining about the Knicks getting Patrick Ewing. It's like that was 1985. Okay, you weren't born then. Were you born in 1985?
Yep, I was born in '83.
Okay, you were 2 years old.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So y'all think that the lottery is rigged?
You
think David Stern has a list written out in his office?
I don't think David Stern has a list written. I think that them balls, they might be some scratch offs or something.
I think the whole NBA is rigged. Okay,
Really?
I think Tim Donaghy is not an aberration. It's not an anomaly.
He'd be a general manager in the future.
I think that there are more referees. Okay, all you had to do was watch the finals this year. Okay, when you got a guy who scores 40 points in a game and goes to the free throw line twice. All right,
Man.
that's a big problem. And on top of that, a guy Westbrook who went to the hole. I think they showed like about 10 replays of him going to the hole. Never got called. Never got a foul call. Okay, and I mean the entire Miami Heat team got about like 20 calls. All right, in the same game.
And if you guys don't know, these two gentlemen sitting right and left of me picked Oklahoma City, won in 6 games and won in 7, and both of them were heavily wrong.
Yes.
And
yes.
I think Vinny has an issue over here.
I don't have an issue with it. I just feel that I feel that these games were a lot closer than the series might say.
Okay.
You know, in history it'll be a 5-game series. You know that he won 4-1, of course. But I think that a lot of these games could have been decided.
Well, they were 2 and 3 point winners. They were very tight. They were very close.
Well, if anybody other than Westbrook and Durant had shown up, it would have been more of a competitive series.
Shame on you, James Harden.
Serge Ibaka,
But
Kendrick Perkins.
See, I'm not mad at Serge Ibaka because
White boy
the
Collison.
fact that Serge Ibaka is taking jump shots is terrible. All right, I truthfully don't like what James Harden did in the series. I'm not a big fan of what Kevin Durant did.
I don't think James Harden's mother was happy with what he did in this series.
Let's not take shots at the bearded man.
He needs to shave that shit. He needs to shave that
He does
shit.
need to shave that shit.
Okay, because he played like an Orthodox Jew, which is what he looked
You
like.
need to come up with a new image for next season.
Hey, can we not bash the Jews? All right, they've been through enough.
Lying.
All I'm saying is, an Orthodox Jew can't play ball. If there are any Orthodox Jews out there who want to contest that, please call me.
Oh Lord.
Please call him.
Well, the NBA has a lot of things they got to do. But I think David Stern, he's taking initiative. Like, I heard that he's coming out with they're going to have meetings about the foul calls and what is a foul.
Meetings.
I
I
mean,
love those
Are these
meetings.
in vacation spots? It's like the Pro Bowl.
Yes,
They're
yeah.
gonna be in Honolulu.
I don't know. But one thing I got to say, I got to give kudos to David Stern because he saw that there's a problem. And if he can figure it out.
He knows that there's a problem. It's been a problem.
Well, he needs to take initiative and.
He needs to take initiative and step down.
Who do you think so?
I think David Stern has completely got himself too invested emotionally, and I think too much of his personal wants and needs come out instead of being judicious, instead of looking at the NBA how it's supposed to be looked at instead of how David Stern wants it. I think he has too much of himself invested in the decision-making process.
So he's becoming Roger Goodell.
You have a 70-year-old Jew running the NBA. Do you really think that he's going to have an objective view?
Who do you want, Michael Jordan to run the NBA?
Oh, no.
I don't want Michael Jordan running my household.
You might as well get Zeke. You might as well get Isaiah Thomas and let him run it into the ground.
Oh, Lord, man. I mean, it's tough to say because I can say one thing about David Stern is that he has made basketball an international sport.
Yes.
Internationally.
Yes, he did.
You know.
He's a shark. He's a hustler.
Yes, he did.
He did a great job doing that, but that's on the business side.
Does that mean he needs to hold the position until he dies?
He will.
I don't think he should. You know, I think it's a younger man's. I think it's about time for him because when was he introduced as the commissioner?
1980.
So he was in the 80s.
He's been around a while.
Late 70s, early 80s. In fact, the fella that he replaced as the commissioner, his name is on the trophy for the championship. Walter Kennedy, if I'm not mistaken. That's how long he's been commissioner of basketball.
God, dog.
Well, I say something needs to be done. You know, the NBA has a lot of faults. You know, but hopefully this offseason we can bring these issues to light.
Him and Roger Goodell need to both be put on probation.
I like Roger Goodell. I have no problem with Roger Goodell.
I like 60% of Roger Goodell.
I think if Roger Goodell were not running the NFL, it would be absolute chaos. It would be absolute madness.
Where's old Paul Tagliabue at? Bring him back.
Paul made his money, and he's drinking Bahama Mamas in Belize, man. That's cool.
Let Lawrence Taylor run the league for a little while.
Lawrence Taylor.
Let Lawrence Taylor run the league for a little while. I guarantee you the players will be happier. Women for everybody. Who gives a damn about age?
You know, crack for one and all.
Her ID said 18.
Man, let's leave Lawrence Taylor alone.
Nah, it's all good. We digress. In up and coming news, Euro soccer. Italy defeats England 4-2.
4-2. They wish they'd scored that in the whole entire tournament.
Let's be real, man. Soccer isn't a sport that's going to get the American people riled up. It's not something that I'll be watching. It's not something that I think that 75% of the U.S. population will be watching. Like, not even that number. I think you talk about more than 90% of the U.S. population will be watching. More people care about the U.S. election at this moment than they do Euro soccer. And we're in freaking July. Like, we're almost about to hit July.
Well, I'm trying to be fair and cover as much of sports because this is real talk sports. So, you know, if nothing else, Scott is trying to be a martyr. I'm trying to go across the board. I wish I could see your face there making at me right now.
I don't know what to say, man. Like, you hear the snores, man. Just, like, I sat down and I tried to watch a game. It was 0-0 for about 20 minutes.
1-0.
I turned the channel to another game. It was 0-0 for about 20 minutes.
Well, I'm gonna work on these gentlemen with the Euro soccer. It might take a while and a few drinks.
Hey man, we like Scott said, man. If you got a problem with us not liking Euro soccer, please come and tell us why we should like this sport.
We're working on the call-in line real soon. That shit is kind of expensive. We're working on that. We're gonna get that process popping. We're gonna keep it moving before Lou starts slobbing on my table. We're gonna switch over to MLB, something you guys love.
Woo! Shout out
There was
to
a big trade going on.
Oh, Kevin Youkilis.
Yeah.
Who cares? Red Sox suck. Red Sox are terrible. They need to just get rid of everybody. Clean house. I feel like a lot of these baseball teams, like look at the Phillies, the Red Sox, the Yankees. These teams are putting all this money into these teams, and they're barely over 500.
They're built to be a win now team.
Yeah, and they're not winning now.
Yeah,
they're not winning now. You know, like I feel that a lot of these teams, like look at the Mets this year. The Mets don't have a lot of big name players. You know, shout out to my Mets. I am a Mets fan. Don't hate. They don't have a lot of big name players this year, but they're still producing.
Yeah.
You know, you have teams like the Orioles. You know, the Orioles don't have a lot of big names, but they're producing. You know, the Indians. Like these teams who you don't know their players.
So you think this youth is that helping? The youth?
I think that this year we're seeing what a good farm system can do to a good MLB team.
Okay.
For any MLB team, it can take your team from the gutter to to the tippy top. You know what I'm saying?
And both of my teams, not much to talk about. They're playing the middle ground. The Braves and the Tigers. I'm not even gonna go into either deeply. They keep waffling between 1 and 3 in their division. You know, Verlander plays, the Tigers win. Verlander doesn't play, they get the shit beat out of them. Same thing with the Braves. They win, they blow somebody out one night, 6-1. The next night they'll get blown out. So neither one of my teams are really moving me. It's just kind of like, okay.
It's slow right now for baseball. You know, it's like I said, it's June, July. You know, hopefully when August comes around, we'll get a better picture of who's going to be in the playoffs.
It'll pick up. I gotta get y'all that Braves game, man. No, Lou.
I've lived here for 15 years and I haven't been to a Braves game yet.
Hey, man, $7, $7 tickets.
Hey, that ain't bad.
We sit up there and get hammered.
$7 too much.
$7 too much? I'll pay for it.
Well, you hear?
I'll spring. Don't worry about it.
I heard a little news article. I read a little news article on the internet about some families are thinking that the game might be a little too dangerous for the fans. A woman, she was sitting there with her family watching the game. You know, she looked up at the scoreboard 1 second, turned around, and smack dab in the face comes a baseball.
Oh.
You know, she had to get her jaw. She had surgery on her jaw.
Yeah, when it's coming at that velocity.
Her palate was all messed up.
Oh,
to that woman, I say, stop looking up at the scoreboard and watch a goddamn game. Maybe you'll see the ball come.
Well, yeah, when I played football, our coach always said, keep your head on the swivel.
Well, I'll be real, man. If you're playing baseball, you know what the sport is. You know there's going to be foul balls.
It says it on the ticket. If you're sitting down by the field, if you get hit, that's your problem.
And it seems like when you hear that crack of the ball, that's a very loud sound. I've been to a few baseball games. When they connect with the ball, it doesn't matter where you're sitting in the stadium, you can hear that shit. So that immediately will automatically make me turn my head.
And not only that, the people around you, when the ball is coming towards them, they're reacting. Okay, so what kind of drugs are you on that you're so slow to respond? Okay, even if you're looking at the scoreboard, the reaction of the crowd around you is going to tell you, oh, something's happening. Let me turn around.
Well, see, this is the problem with sports becoming huge and becoming big time part of culture. Our culture is that people want to regulate. You know, like they try to do football, like they try to do the NBA. Remember in the 90s and the 80s, the NBA was smash mouth. You know, you have people playing street ball, you know? And the calls, I believe, were a lot fair. Much fair. And maybe that it's just that people need to relax, let the players play the game, and as a fan, let the game be played. Back off, hop off the dicks of every freaking person who's trying to, you know.
Well, also when the game becomes very popular, you have a lot of dumbasses who want to participate and want to come and see the games, and really they don't know the etiquette. They don't know how to respond when they're at a game. Okay, when you're watching a baseball game, okay, watch the game. Watch the game. Stop paying attention to what's happening in your pants. Stop paying attention to, you know.
Hold on, what are they doing in their pants?
What's going on in the pants?
I don't know.
Because I didn't get that memo.
I don't know, because you must be paying attention to something else other than when the ball is coming at you at 120 miles an hour.
Hey, don't tell me that, man. I was sagging one time. They tried to put me with a sexual harassment charge.
What?
Hey, it happened. My homeboy got locked up for it.
Oh, man. Well, we're going to transition out of baseball. That's our news for that sport. Because we are running at about, we're at right at 30 minutes, so we got a few more sports to cover. Like I said, we're trying to be, trying to be broad.
Let's hit that NASCAR topic. Huh?
You want to hit that NASCAR? All right.
Oh, time out. I was joking.
So now I guess we're going to move on to the NFL, seeing as how that last segment went. There's not much going on. The Dolphins have been fined 10 stacks $10,000 for putting their playbooks on iPads.
That's